One of those states that is in desperate need of our help is California. I'm convinced if the liberal anti-gun leftists in that state had their way, they would ban all gun sales and confiscate all others. Its anti-firearm stance is as extreme as it gets, though gun owners did get a small reprieve. The large capacity magazine ban set to take place January 1st has been put on hold, but only slightly. It is a short reprieve. Tim Scarrott is an Army veteran and former police officer, joins me now to help talk about this and break it down. Tim, is this really even a reprieve, this high-capacity magazine ban that the DOJ says, hey, we're going to not put it into effect January 1st?
No, unfortunately, it's no reprieve at all. And the NRA and other organizations have been great about getting the information out, but people need to be aware of what's going on and aware of their rights. There's no reprieve. It's still coming. You have to turn them in July 1st.
And so July 1st, you have to turn them in, you have to alter them. And what I've said is one reason why this is so unconstitutional is it amounts to property seizure. And when you talk about freedom in America or any other nation, property rights is tantamount to everything. This amounts to the government seizing personal property.
I agree. And, you know, the reprieve that we thought we were getting was only the Department of Justice trying to skirt the Office of Administrative Law. So they weren't able to put in an emergency referendum on January 1st. But the law is still going to take effect July 1st. And it's also going to exclude police officers. There's no provision for police officers. So they're going to have to turn in these magazines also.
So what does that mean for officers? Clearly, they have to have high-capacity magazines in their service duty weapons.
Well, you know, you talk about constitutional law and seizure of property. It also boils down to a 14th Amendment issue, equal protection. Now, police officers will get an exemption for their duty weapons. So if you have an AR-15, you have a Glock or any other handgun, you can keep your high-capacity magazines for that weapon. But your M1A or your M14, your Mini 14 or other firearms, you're not exempt. These police officers are going to have to turn their magazines in just like every other citizen, and I don't think everyone is aware of that.
Do you know, does it spell it out, the law? Can a police officer have more than one duty weapon as far as more than one pistol if they're using a SIG or a Glock? Can they have more than one?
Now, that's a bit ambiguous. There's no delineation of how many magazines or how many duty weapons an officer can have, but I'm sure that's going to boil down to the reasonable person standard.
Yeah. The last thing we need is California going and taking away police officers' ability to protect themselves. We already know they've taken away the rights of every law-abiding citizen to protect themselves. California is out of control there. Tim, what can be done to push back in California?
You know, we're already doing it. The emergency magazine control that was supposed to occur on January 1st, enough people wrote letters to the Office of Administrative Law, and that's ultimately where citizens go to complain about legal issues that are unjust. You know, but we have to join the NRA. We have to contribute to the organizations who are going to protect our rights. But every gun owner has to get involved, because I see how some folks might say, well, I don't have an AR-15. I don't mind if you ban this or you ban that, you know, but the reality is now you're truly seeing the ebbing away and the destruction of the Second Amendment, because now we have a law that affects everybody, even police officers, and that's not fair.
And I promise you, you give them an inch, they take a mile, you start one small ban here, it leads to another, it leads to another. It's why you have to push back from the very start of this, at the first hint of anti-gun legislation. It's past that point in California, but there are other states across this country where that is starting, and it's imperative that fight keeps up immediately.
I agree, and here's the thing. Right now, this magazine ban is a misdemeanor, but in 5 years or 10 years or less, they could just as well sign in that now it's a felony. Or you're at the shooting range and you're not aware of this law, and you have a 30-round magazine for a 10-22 rifle. Or you have a Glock magazine that holds 14 rounds, and somebody walks up to you, checks your magazine, and now you're getting a ticket or going to jail, potentially. That's what the law says. So, you know, this is a real issue, and it is going to continue to get worse if we don't fight back.
Yeah. Well, Tim Scarrott, I appreciate the fight that you're putting up there out in California, and thank you for coming on and sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you for having me, and join the NRA. That's what we need to do. We got to band together so our voice is heard, and I'm a life member, proud to be it. We have to join the NRA and be heard.
Well, you better believe it. Nobody believes that more than right here on NRATV. You got it right, Tim. Hey, thank you. Thank you for the plug as well.